applying it practically. So that combination will give you needed yasana. If you don't use both, you won't get it. Yes.
Definitely, we say for karmis or for gyanis, for them to act, they still have to think. It might be very short.
Yeah, but they're only thinking enough to just apply it, not about what's the bigger concept of it and how it's
So
going.
we think about the bigger.
Yeah. In other words, what's the now in the practical world? What's the problem with the intellectuals?
They're not practical.
It's not practical. It's theoretical. And for the intellectuals, what's the problem with the general populace?
Not intellectual.
They don't use their brain to see that bigger picture. So that's what manana means, is you see the bigger picture and you practically apply it. And you keep comparing what you're thinking to what it can be done and what you're doing to what is the concept.
But we can say the same about the society of devotees.
Yes, and that was the exact point of the whatever it is, the incident of the meltdown. Was this the very point, is that devotees were refusing to apply the principle. They'll hear, but when it comes to manana, they'll take either the theoretical or the practical, and never the twain shall meet. And that refusal, that adamant refusal to let the two come together, that was what we were upset about. The questions and points, those are easy enough to deal with. Those aren't a problem. I mean, other than it takes up so much time, and which is not, the course is not meant for that. But it's not that those topics aren't valuable topics, and it's not that those aren't valuable discussions. It was that they're not trying to put the two aspects together. The conceptual of it, the tattva, and then the practical application in the religion. And so then the weakness that they see in the religion, I don't understand this, is it's explained in the tattva. Or we get into the tattva, and then what about the practical application? So that's the point, is that this course is supposed to bring about manana. And then on your own, you'll develop nididhyasana. The course can't give you that. It can give you the tools. You have the knowledge, and you have the contemplation how to apply it. So that's what the point of having the theory and then showing the example, it gives you both. But then when we just take the example and go off on that, or we just take the theory and go off on that, then we have a problem. Does that make sense? Is that? Yeah. Yes.
Maharaj, since we talked for quite some time, then can a person be a teacher without this conceptual understanding of the topic? When he's caught in just, he sees many details, but the concept itself is really difficult for him to grasp.
It means if he has no understanding of the concept, then he can teach the students and they'll get the same that they get. In other words, if they're very good at the details, he can make students that are very good at details.
Yes. But still they won't understand.
They won't understand from the teaching the concepts. They may on their own contemplate it and understand. But they won't have gained that from the teacher.
Because we're talking about conditioning, basically. It's
Yes.
a conditioned nature.
Yes, like that. But it's also impurities. Because the point is the conditioned nature itself, seeing that it's made by Krishna itself, doesn't have any problem. The whole Varnashram system is consistent with being a pure devotee. They practice it, they follow it, they don't practice it. They follow it in the spiritual world. It's their natural lifestyle. But it's the devotion that's the main, so they're functioning on the pure platform. While here, we have ideas of what we want to get in karma and gyan from the religious processes. That's the difficulty. We have our idea of what I should get. And because of that, then there's problems. So that's where the weakness comes, that's where the doubts comes, the misgivings come. Because, am I going to get, like in the last class, the one devotee asked, is about but we're following this Krishna consciousness. Where's all the material facility that's supposed to, it says that, devotee will have all facility, all this, it's like, it says favorable to the desires of the devotee, but my desires aren't being fulfilled, so what's wrong with this process? rather than, what am I doing wrong that if this is how it works, why I'm not getting this, it's like, but it's all about there's something wrong with the process, something wrong with that, so, and how are leaders of the society going to correct this?
That's what we just read, remember, about the rain, that they did the sacrifice and rain didn't go.
Yes,
That's
and
the
so
same
then yeah. So that they're not understanding that they're lacking their weakness. So that's the. So.
It's quick. I found this word miyate,
Oh.
and I don't know what is the form in English. What it means verb pass. I don't know what it means.
Path.
Pass.
Pass.
Pass. Full stop.
Huh?
PASS.
That is passive.
Pass.
Huh?
Passive.
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 Okay, passive. Yes.
Okay, so it's the passive
So it means
tense of
be
Maya.
Be fixed or
Mayate. It's the passive. Yeah, so one's active, one's passive.
so it means be fixed or else be measured.
Yes.
That's just specific to this word miyate.
Okay. Be fixed. And then Mayate has a broader because it's active.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So then, take this. In other words, the static and the dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then those will come from a root back behind that. So yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Fix that.
You good?
Yes.
Okay. You have about 15 seconds. Otherwise, you wait till next class.
So because of that condition nature, the services are there, but because of that only is for me, I'm not able to do that services are coming, but the conditioning is stopping me. How it's...
The point is you have to pray to Krishna and engage in the process. More chanting, hearing, associating with devotees. Whatever you can do within devotional service, see that you're steady at that. That will then allow other areas to manifest. In other words, it's just like you have to clean the house. The whole house is dirty. You have to start somewhere. So wherever you're comfortable starting, you start there, and then from there, it'll just expand till you get the whole house. So don't worry that, you started in the kitchen instead of starting in the living room. Okay? Yeah? That makes sense?
Yeah, but so many services are there, they are coming to me also.
Yes, and then you do what you can.
Do it and not study also.
You do what you can. You make a balance. Because you have to study a bit. Otherwise, it means if there's a festival, of course, maybe for 3 days you're not studying. You're just doing the festival. But the point is then after that, it goes back to normal. So when it's normal, you have a regular schedule. And when there's a festival and something special, then you do extra stuff. It's not like you're, got up at midnight and go to, and then fast until midnight, and that, it's not that, after Janmashtami, then every day we fast until midnight and have a big feast at midnight, Not a bad program, but, yeah.
Some other people already follow in that program, so we can.
Yeah, like that, Yeah, like that, so. Yeah, some go to bed, some go to the party, and some go to the after party, right? Yeah, so. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Bhaktividya ki, Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi.